Hi travelers, welcome back to New Travel Escapes. I'm Nancy, and today we're diving into everything you need to know about the Visitax, the tourism tax in Quintana Roo, Mexico that's been around for a few years now. We've kept you informed with videos about this tax since its inception, but there have been some changes and updates for 2024 that you definitely need to be aware of. Whether you're planning a visit to Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, or any of the beautiful destinations in Quintana Roo, this information is crucial for a smooth trip. So what exactly is the Visitax? Now, I won't repeat all of the details from our past videos, but a quick recap is that this tax was introduced in April of 2021. It is a mandatory fee for all international tourists visiting the state of Quintana Roo. The goal is to generate revenue for the state to improve its tourism infrastructure and support local communities. I can honestly tell you that the implementation of this tax is probably the worst I've ever seen. When it first came into law, they didn't make it clearly understood at all. They didn't specify someone to enforce it with any credibility. They allowed scam websites to overcharge people for it. The government website was glitchy, and everyone passed the buck, so to speak, on who was actually checking to see if visitors paid this tax. Well, it is still ridiculous, but after they realized that they should have collected about 600 million pesos, but have actually only collected over 100 million pesos, I'm sure that you can understand that they're starting to more carefully monitor this revenue stream and making sure they're getting paid. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you what to do. If you choose to exceed the speed limit in your car, you choose to have unpaid parking tickets, or if you choose to not pay the Visitax, it really doesn't affect me, and I don't care if you pay it or if you don't pay it. So I'm not going to argue about it in the comments. I do, however, want you to know everything that I know about the Visitax, so you can decide for yourself how you want to proceed. Let's talk about how you pay this tax and how to avoid being scammed. When this tax was implemented in 2021, there were people wearing Visitax shirts holding up signs at the bottom of the escalators in the departures area of the Cancun airport, asking for the tax to be paid to them directly in cash. No way were people doing that. In addition to this, there were a bunch of scam websites charging way too much to pay this tax on your behalf. I've already shown you those in previous videos, so I won't get into them again, but after a couple years of chaos, it is slightly better now, with only two reliable ways to pay the Visitax. The first is the official government website. It is www.visitax.gov.mx, and it looks like this. You input the date you're departing Quintana Roo, the number of people in your party, and you can add up to 10, first and last name of each person in your group, birthday of each person, passport number for each person, and a valid email address, so you can get your receipt. Once you've filled out the form, you will be redirected to a secure online payment page where you can make your Visitax payment using debit or credit cards. Currently, they include MasterCard, Visa, Discover, and American Express. It's pretty straightforward. Once your payment is completed, you will be provided with a QR code. Now make sure you save and then screenshot this code, as it will serve as your proof of payment. If you lose your QR code, your info will be stored on the government servers for up to a year. Alternatively, you can pay it through the Toronto-based company Travelkore. It is www.travelkore.com, and it looks like this. This is an online company that has been contracted and authorized by the state of Quintana Roo as the only third-party payment company. Don't be fooled by other sites. On a side note, your travel agent can pay this tax on your behalf, but if you choose to do it yourself, these are the only two official sites with which to pay the tax. The info you input into Travelkore is pretty much the same, except that when you use Travelkore, you have the option to pay in US dollars, Canadian dollars, or Mexican pesos. This may help some people avoid currency exchange fees from their credit card company. Travelkore also has a great live chat feature that you can use if you have any questions or if you have any difficulty making your payment. Travelkore also generates a government QR code for you that proves you have paid the Visitax. If you set up a CareCore account, your QR code will be automatically added to your CareCore wallet so that you can access it when you need it. However, I would still keep a copy of your receipt and your QR code stored in multiple places, even a print copy, just in case you need to prove that you've paid it and you don't have access to Wi-Fi. FYI, the Wi-Fi in the Cancun airport is sketchy to say the least. The Travelkore VisitX QR looks very similar to the government QR receipt. When scanned, either the government QR code or the Travelkore QR code will indicate that you have paid the tax. You won't be able to scan the QR code yourself, you need a special scanner for that. Immigration and security checkpoints do have the right to ask you for proof of payment before you can proceed further. Many people seem to think that because they don't enforce it or ask everybody to prove it, it is actually not a legitimate requirement, rather it's a scam. I don't really blame you for thinking this is a scam because when it first came out, I thought it was too. Cash in the airport, I mean, come on. But alas, after I started to do some research on the VisitX, I found out that it is the law. The laws were even updated last year to put the onus on the travel companies or airlines, and they are required to send you the link to pay for it. So if you don't, they are off the hook. Now let's talk about what happens if you don't pay the VisitX. Again, so much misinformation out there about this, leading to a lot of confusion and concern. PaxEditions.com posted an article in April of 2024 stating that travelers who skip Quintana Roo tourist tax will face digital tracking passport observations. OpenJaw quotes Tim Scurry from Travelkore saying that the state has the legal right to make sure you pay the missed taxes before you enter the state, and the state has not waived its right to collect taxes due from the date the law changed in 2022. Have a look at the article for yourself at openjaw.com. All of this basically means that the state has the right to deny you entry until all of your back taxes are paid. They also have the right to add fines to this for non-compliance. How they will proceed with their rights is anybody's guess, but they're starting to pay close attention. For me personally, of course, I do not like paying an additional tax. But honestly, is it going to discourage me from visiting the Cancun area? Nope, it really isn't. We have found paying this VisitX is easy and quick. Don't have to like it, just have to do it. We have used both the government website as well as Travelkore's without a problem. We do choose to pay it each time we're visiting the state of Quintana Roo because with how often we're in and out of Cancun, if we ever get hit with back taxes as well as fines, it will really put a damper on my vacation. The VisitX isn't part of the already listed extra fees from your airline and resort. It is separate. If you haven't got a QR code receipt, then you haven't paid it. It's really that simple. Oh, and there are no longer VisitX kiosks at the airport, and those people collecting cash at the bottom of the escalator are gone as well, thank goodness. This tax was started as a means to fund improvements in the overall tourism experience and environment in Quintana Roo, including conservation efforts and infrastructure improvements. Whether you believe this or you just see it as another government money grab, well, it really doesn't matter. It is the law, and they do have the right to enforce it. When and how they will start to enforce it is anybody's guess. In summary, here's what you need to remember about the VisitX for 2024. It is $17 USD or $22.50 Canadian per person. Everyone, even infants, have to pay it. You can pay it online before your departure using the government website or Travelkore. I highly recommend that you do it ahead of time to avoid any last-minute stress at the airport. Number 3 is keep your QR code handy to show at the airport. You may need to show it or you may not. It is linked to your passport number. While I do prefer giving you the pros and cons of the resorts that we visit, knowing the different travel requirements and fees, as well as how to navigate the airport, is important, and I want you to know what I know so that your travels may be as stress-free as possible. As my mother would say, forewarned is forearmed. Thanks for tuning in to New Travel Escapes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel tips and updates. It is totally free to you, and we really appreciate your support. It allows us to keep the channel going. Thank you. We have a bunch of new stuff coming up on the channel. We're working on a Cancun airport video showing Terminal 2. We've shown you through 3 and 4, but we ended up in Terminal 2 this last trip, so out came my camera. We have 3 new resorts to tell you about, and we are revisiting one of our favorite resorts in a couple of months to see what's new in 2024. Safe travels, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week with more new travel escapes. Bye!